welcome you to our Good Friday service at Greensky Hill. We're beginning in our dining room, Kathy's and my dining room in downtown Charlevoix. And then we're going to go together to greenskyhill.org to walk through the city of Flint with Reverend Jeremy Peters on our prayer walk for Good Friday. As we begin our brief service here, we gather around our prayers and the Christ candle and the art that happened when we had to isolate in our homes and move the sanctuary from our beautiful sacred space near Susan Lake in the woods by our circle of trees, and instead gather from the safety of our homes as we love our neighbors with physical distancing. And yet we've tried to maintain our social connection, and so here we are. It's always seemed odd to me to call this day that we remember an unjust trial, mockery of a trial, an unjust conviction and an execution as good. And we remember this day as Good Friday. And how do we do that? We do that because love wins, because we know that Sunday's coming, because we know that Easter's coming. But mostly, it's important for us to not hurry to Easter, because the world is hurting right now. The world is struggling and suffering. Some of our neighbors are dying. Many of our neighbors are sick, and many of us are afraid. And when Jesus took our pain upon himself, the way that these prayer candles have affected the Christ candle, as our prayers, our needs, and our hurts and our suffering are taken up into Christ, we know that we're not alone. And the message of Good Friday, the message of the cross, is that God loved us and all of creation so much that God entered into our suffering so that we would know that we're not alone, that we would know there is salvation, that well-being between us and God, between us and one another, and between us and all of creation. And so we remember. And I want to invite you today, after we walk through the city of Flint with Pastor Jeremy, to follow the link to the Ragman story written by Walter Wangerin. Walter Wangerin tells the story himself in the link that I provided. And Ken Miedema, the gifted musician, sings a song around this Ragman story. And it was Molly Tate who reminded me last week as we were approaching Holy Week and Good Friday about that amazing story. And it will connect with our reflection on the art of the Christ candle. This song is a hymn inspired by Jesus' 7 last words from the cross. And as we sing each of the verses, the lyrics were provided online for you. We will extinguish some of the candles around the table until at the very end the Christ candle is out. Father, forgive them, Jesus, you pray. Even at death, your love was profound. You were rejected, you were betrayed, yet in your word here, mercies abound. Who hung beside you, dying in pain. One saw in faith your love sacrifice. You told that man who called you by name, you will be This is your mother, this is your son. You bless the life your loved ones would share. So in your church you give to each one love's healing bonds and answer to prayer. You played a song that everyone knew. Why have you left me here all alone? Did you recall that psalm ending too? God will deliver, let it be known. You cried, I'm thirsty, suffering Lord. Who would give comfort? What would they do? Teach us again when we serve the poor. We too are giving water to you. It is completed, all was fulfilled. You had been faithful, living God's way. You knew the truth, love could not be killed. There would be triumph on the third day. Father, forgive them, you cried out to God. Into your hands my spirit I give. Then on the cross as love's final word, you died so all God's children could live. Walk with me to greenskyhill.org, where you'll find a video link for a beautiful prayer walk through the city of Flint with Reverend Jeremy Peters. Let's walk together.